players, the personalities who come from around the world to play professional soccer in the United States.
In a world where some call it football, football, or soccer, they dare to call it foosball. One thinks New York is blue, the other thinks New York is red. Soccer in America from a German perspective. Let them put some sauerkraut on your hot dog and join them for the Schnitzel Boys USA Hour.
Ha 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 ha! Good evening, good evening, good evening. One of.
Oh, you're boastful. You're boastful today. You're boastful.
One of. Well, we just came from the Deutschland Hour where we had to talk about the sorry state of my German team. But now everything's different. Everything is different in the USA Hour. One of them, you know, our intro says one of us thinks New York is red, the other one thinks New York is blue. This week, it's not a matter of opinion. This week it's settled. This week, and until September, New York is blue.
All the way till September, we'll play each other again? Dang.
Yeah, I just bought tickets.
Oh.
Just bought tickets because
we'll have Antoine Griezmann by then.
I'm a glutton for punishment. I can't.
We'll have
Marco, well enough alone.
We'll have Marco Reus and Antoine Griezmann on the roster.
And Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp might be coaching by then.
Maybe. Well, his friend Sandro's doing a good job. Yeah, you know the big. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but first and foremost, the Schnitzel Boys Derby was this week. New York Red Bulls versus NYCFC, and NYCFC won the game. They won the Derby. The home team won 2-1 in a rainy, epic. It looked terrible on TV. I mean, you could see the baseball.
Looked terrible on TV.
They weren't even hiding the baseball field this time. Just a clear infield outfield situation, crooked field thing, camera way off the thing.
On TV.
So I'm glad you guys had a great time in the stadium.
It was fun in the stadium.
But yeah, it was a good game, dude. It was a really good game. It was tight, back and forth. Both teams, I thought, were playing some really good soccer. I'll be honest with you. I'm sad we lost, obviously, but, like, it was a really good soccer game. I mean, I don't know. There's a two-team. The NYCFC, New York Red Bulls start off swinging, and we're slowly starting to see some cracks. NYCFC, though, they had a great game, man. They were pretty well rounded. I'm just like, they've caught up a little bit. Like they've played. NYCFC is catching some steam here, I think.
I mean, what a difference a week makes. We had, we talked about the Toronto game obviously last week, which we escaped with a victory.
Well, you won that game, right? You won Wednesday, you won Saturday.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We were playing, this is the big rivalry. We were playing Toronto on the road, Philly on the road, and the Red Bulls at home. And if you had told me we would get 9 points out of those 3 games, I would have said there is no chance of that. Like I would have been happy with 4. Obviously we already had 6 going into this game. I was not feeling super optimistic. I think this is a young team. Consistency has not been the strong suit necessarily, and so I did not go to the stadium thinking, oh, this is going to be, and the Red Bulls have been legit.
We were going in with a 4-2 and a 4-1. Yeah, we had 2.
I know Forsberg wasn't going to start. He
had
some illness, and so there was that. But yeah, well.
And we had a suspension, I believe. I think one of our players.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and but I agree with you. It was a fun game because the Red Bulls are no longer. It's no longer this like chaos. Because these games have not always been aesthetically pleasing, to say the least. Where it was usually sort of a clash of philosophies, where NYCFC would be trying to possess and pass, and the Red Bulls would just like press and destroy. And it more often than not, especially lately, did not go our way. And But this Red Bulls iteration is not like that. The press is they're picking their spots, and I kind of like I was like, especially in the first half, I thought like our press is kind of better, and I don't think I've ever said that. And
Well, I have to admit. Well, the two things, yeah, there's always difference in philosophy, and we still have the high press. Under Schwartz, we also possess, and we possess it in your half. That's the chain, and that's been really nice.
Well, but also the press is on and off
today because
the press is on and off, though. It's not like every time. I mean, it used to just be attack, attack, attack every time. Under Lesane and under Justin Marsh for sure. And it's not
we
like
hold
that.
the ball, and we hold the ball in your half. That's sort of what's going on this year. And NYCFC did a really good job of retaining possession. They passed, they connected a little bit better, I would say, overall, and they just moved the ball around really well, like in a way where I'm like, because it's a very Man City. It's very Man City. It is still very like a club versus Pep light situation
for
going
sure.
on here.
I mean, that's always been the philosophy, the positional play. Yeah.
And I think we saw that today. We're like, definitely the Red Bulls retain possession more. Like, and the whole point is to retain it in the upper third in your half. But you guys were able to pass it out of the back, pass it up the field, and you caught the New York Red Bulls under Gerhard Struber only had one thing right, and that was our pretty tight defense. We're pretty tight and solid defensively. Under Sandro Schwartz, he's improved everything tremendously, except our defense is not as tight as it's been in the past. Now, this is probably related to the high press, obviously, and keeping it in the box, the more vulnerable in the back. And we saw that today. I think both your goals were victims of just a pretty, like the first goal was definitely a tight sort of counterattack through our defense. Hannes Wolf left entirely unattended. It's one of the defenders slipped. I forgot who it was. Was it Noah Ailey?
Well, he slid to
someone
to
slid
block,
and missed it.
He slid to block the shot, and Hannes Wolf had the composure that our number nines have often
Yeah, but he was
lacked.
wide open. He was wide open in the box, slammed
But
in
he
the
had
goal.
well, he had
wide open.
he was sort of wide open, but he let the guy slide past him. He didn't just take the shot and have it blocked. He waited, which I thought was pretty nifty. I thought it was a pretty nifty move.
Yeah, it's sloppy defense.
on his part, and I guess perhaps. Definitely.
Our defense. Both teams played a tight game. Our defense showed a little more frailty on the night. Our passes were mismatching. The big talk of the town is John Tolkien isn't the player he was last year. And, people are defending him. Oh, he doesn't have to work as much, doesn't have to run up a high, I didn't see a great game from John Tolkien over the weekend. I don't know about you.
I thought he was good defensively. At least he didn't. I mean, I think we pinned him back a lot of it. Like he had a lot to deal with, but I thought he handled himself well because Santi Rodriguez was on that side a lot. Because Santi, he's kind of our wild card. He goes wherever he wants to go, and he had kind of that side picked out as for an overload. Which he's had a lot of success with that against other teams, and I thought Tolkien, I don't think he got past him. He certainly not. He never dribbled past him the entire time. So I thought he had a pretty good defensive game. He didn't. I think because of this overload, I think the assumption was probably that he would spend a lot of time going forward and that there would be space. But I thought he did well defensively. But obviously, that kept him from going forward.
My criticism, I guess, maybe is more offensively. I just noticed a couple missed passes and missed opportunities. Just not the same John Tolkien swagger we saw last season. I saw a team towards the end there, the last 5 minutes, they were mispassing to each other, throwing their arms up, that kind of crap. The out of rhythm stuff. And I'm just like, well, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, there was some frustration. Sean Neal's got a late red card.
He talked himself off the field.
Yeah, he got the first because it was the second yellow, and the first yellow was entirely for dissent. Yeah, it was not for foul.
And we have suspended back line right now. So for our former team captain to talk himself into suspension, bad.
Yeah, that's not great. It was
very
some frustration.
undisciplined.
And I mean, I don't think yeah, I don't think they had any reason to be. I mean, the referee was weird. I definitely remember, but not. I don't think
We should have gotten more stoppage time. That's clear. Not that would have
more than the 3 minutes. Why?
Yeah, there was a red
was
card
not a
or
lot
something.
going.
Wasn't there a goal and a red card? We needed at least
Well,
one
the
or
red
two more
card
minutes.
was before the
The referee blew the game early. We know that. That's a fact. We should have
Okay.
got another minute or two. Now, with that being said, was that going to change it from a loss to a tie? Nah, I doubt it. But the referee blew early. That's what they had problems with. And people did have problems with the ref. I didn't see too much with the ref, to be honest. Other than
I definitely remember
mismanaging stoppage time.
I think the ref was weird. There were some odd calls, but in either direction, like it wasn't. I didn't think he was favoring one team over the other. But anyway, yeah,
very, very disorganized. Come on now, that's a little much. I think
very
They-
disorganized.
They
Well,
were down
Daniel-
a goal and down a man, and it was raining, and it was their rivals, and you do get frustrated.
Down
right?
a man. I mean, they were down a man for the last 20 seconds of the game. Like that was not a
Oh,
factor.
down a goal.
Right.
Yeah. But
Well, Daniel Young and I hung out in the stands, so that was fun. It was.
tell me everything.
We were in the. Well, I mean, I'm now because my seats used to be on the other side of the stadium, and I don't like being there. I like being on the fan side of things, and but we got there a little late, so we were sort of in the back of the fan section.
They
and,
showed the fan sections of rock. I was looking for you guys, but it's hard to find.
Well,
Where are you
there's
seated? 'Cause
two
there's
different.
two.
There's
the one
two
behind.
different. There's like the big
the
fan
one on the
section is
left.
sort of on the side, but we're behind the goal. We were we were pretty much right behind the goal.
On the
on
bottom
that
level?
same there's no real bottom level like that. Those seats are a little elevated.
Behind the tifo. You guys sat behind the tifo.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
They showed shots that I was looking for you guys. It was hard to find.
Yeah, we were very far back
hundreds
this
of
time.
fans,
Usually,
yeah.
I try to be more in the front, but it was packed. There were 31,000 people in the stadium, and
Not
it
enough
was
flags. Not enough flags. You need to bring the flags out.
not enough. We don't. Yeah, I don't like. I like to watch. Call me crazy. I like to watch the game when I go into the.
I'm
stadium.
sending you guys flags.
I don't
You
like
guys
to
need more
watch. You know, somebody waving a Lithuanian flag in front of me is not necessary. Anyway, yeah. So Daniel came up to me, and it was fun. Like obviously it was very exciting, and it was cool to hang out.
Great. Very cool. Yeah, we need to meet. I think David Riccio suggested a Shutza Boys hangout at some point when you get
That'd
that
be
going.
great. Yeah.
I just need to get
I
off the
still
West
have
Coast for
those,
that.
yeah, we can maybe in September we'll meet at Red Bull Arena for the rematch.
For the rematch.
But yeah, there is definitely a new level of confidence in our team, and this is not just because not that we need to go play by play for every game that happened, but the Philly game also was big. The Philly victory on the road, because it was very similar in that we got a very early counterattack goal in that game as well, and it kind of served as a solid foundation. And it was also 2-1, and I didn't think in this game, in our game on Saturday, I felt pretty confident. It didn't seem like the Red Bulls quite had had quite the attacking punch in that game, and our defense was handling
we missed
it well.
Emil Forsberg.
Yeah,
quite
well, but even when he came off the bench, I started to worry. But he didn't.
He was ill.
Was a non-factor, and he got muscled around a bit by our midfielders. I thought I enjoyed seeing.
Well, he has
Parks
COVID-19.
getting-
Okay, take it easy on him. He's
Then he
running
shouldn't
around
be-
with COVID.
Well, all right. And his wife also had another Instagram post
Did
the
she?
same day. Yeah, right. People at NYCFC Twitter was like, we're saying how his wife is helping us by distracting him.
I don't think he cares. But the big thing was Munsaf Barkrar was actually a dangerous number 9. Also.
Yeah, he
had a good game.
scored a goal. I mean, he scored
was
the
the missing
first.
piece.
That's
And almost scored a second. The second one that rocketed off the post because of the
Yeah,
Cornell
which
save.
Carlos Colonel incredibly got his fingertips on, and otherwise he would have had 2. And I mean, not only did he get a goal, and then ran right away to Nick Cushing, and they shared a hug, and it was one of those like I'm not crying, you're crying moments. It was very touching, and yeah, I mean everything. All of a sudden, everything's going well. Like Nick Cushing subs are scoring goals, and because he wasn't starting the game, they had Jovan Mijatovic, the Serbian Wunder striker, had got the start, and he had some moments, but nothing really dangerous. And then Bakra off the bench scored the first nutmeg on a Red Bull keeper in the derby since Haber memorably did that in Yankee Stadium through the legs of, who was it at the time? Don't remember, but that was another
It's very memorable, whatever it was.
To me, it was, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, well, but good
so
game.
yeah,
NYCFC looked like a complete.
Everything's coming up. NYCFC. Malachi Jones is now the new. He got a goal. He got a goal
Not against the New York Red Bulls.
on.
Did he?
No, he got an assist against the Red Bulls, but he got a goal against Philly, his first MLS goal.
Right.
And
Malachi Jones did show a little bit of. He's a little raw. I think we showed a little
Yeah,
bit
he's-
of rawness. Yeah.
no question. But but he keeps things simple. He had that run that basically made the first goal happen.
He's no
and the
Jonathan
other big
Jimenez, but he'll do.
and the other big the other big
the other big
player
one.
now
Come
is
on, let's go.
is
Put it
Hannes
out.
Wolf. It's Hannes
There you go.
Wolf. Hannes Wolf got a goal against Philly. Scored a free kick from the side. I mean, with some help from Oliver Zemler, the Philly goalkeeper, who kind of was absent for that one. But and then got the other one. They got the early goal in this one. He got 2 assists recently, so
Hannes
he
Wolf
is
is
really. I was very proud and happy to wear my Hannes Wolf jersey to the game, and yeah,
Good
he's
Bundesliga
been
quality
great.
player.
Yeah,
Bundesliga quality player bringing to MLS. Loving it. So hats off. It was a tough game. It was frustrating the whole time. Towards the end, I was like, it's going to be a 2-1 game, and they're just not going to pull it off. You guys had the good home advantage, and the New York Red Bulls, we've had a good season, but this is one of our 3 defeats where we have to really look at our defense. Our defense was really, in one of our defeats, we let 6 goals in one half. Another defeat, it was 3-0 against Columbus. Now we have this 2-1 defeat against NYCFC. And that first Hannes Wolf goal was a pretty defensive failure, I would say. And there were just moments where we couldn't clear it. You were just running through us. It was just I was just yelling. I texted you. Sometimes it felt like the Benny Hill theme was going on. And then defense just ping-ponging themselves.
Yeah, in that first,
I'm
in
just
that
like,
first
kick it
goal-
out of there. Just
in
go.
the first goal for sure. There was a lot of sliding around, and
Yeah.
no, that's true. But
Maybe the rain definitely played a
and-
factor in that.
and the cherry on top at the end of the night is like, because I kept looking at the goal differential, but we have the tiebreaker. Wins are the tiebreaker in MLS. So we are actually, if you look at the standings, and it's a beautiful thing. I
Yeah,
recommend
but
it.
what is it, week 14? Who cares about week 14 standings?
Listen.
Second half of the
You
season
gotta
is the
you gotta enjoy these moments when you can. We're in 3rd place. I mean,
What I will say is, though, this is what should be the goal for both of us. At the end of the year, both of us should be 3rd and 4th place. Doesn't matter who's which what. Because for New York Red Bulls have been in the playoffs every year for the last 1,000,000 years or whatever. But for the last 4 or 5 years, we've been 7th or 8th, just sneaking in. We need to go in strong. We need to go in 3rd. Skipping the bye week and hosting the playoff game. That's what we need this year. That's our ultimate goal, I think.
yeah, I mean the East is tight. Miami and
No,
Cincinnati.
Miami's up high.
Miami and Cincinnati are way ahead, and then everybody else
And
is
the
kind
rest.
of in there. Columbus, once the Champions League is over, they're gonna probably come back a little bit. There's Toronto.
They have a game in hand right now.
Toronto,
Yeah.
both Toronto and Philly won big after losing to us. Came back and won big in their game. So yeah, it's tight. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, and when New England, Chicago, and Montreal are just dead teams, I don't expect anything. Atlanta, Nashville with a new coach. Atlanta probably should have a new coach soon, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean those are teams that. I mean Nashville.
Atlanta has seen better days.
Right.
Atlanta has been having a problem for over 2 years now, I think. They need to figure it out. They need to get someone. They need to do whatever it takes. They need to hire Zinedine Zidane. they need to get someone in there.
I mean,
maybe Bruce Arena is available. I love Bruce. He's available. Oh, and you know who else Marco Reus is linked to? Apparently, Charlotte.
Oh.
I wonder if Marco Reus ends up at Charlotte. That would be an odd one to me.
Why not go to? I mean, St. Louis is nice.
Yeah,
Well, you
St. Louis over Charlotte.
you don't love North Carolina.
But he needs to go to LA so I can see him every week. 3 weeks to go.
Yeah. Daniel Young is saying he was afraid some New Jersey folks would beat me.
I didn't want to bring it up, but there were, again, after every game, a bunch of New York City folks always attack the New Jersey fans. And there was, again, more violence. The Red Bulls fans were told to wait in the stadium for an hour, so they did. And when they came, all the New York fans were waiting. And they were attacking them. Blood was drawn. And, again, more violence. And I just don't understand why that has to happen. You guys need to relax, man. Fans need to stop fighting each other.
You guys, it's not. I attack.
I'm not saying
one.
you. I'm not saying you as in you, Bjorn, and you, Daniel Young. As you know, the NYCFC fans has a history with the Proud Boys. You have your violent past.
Oh, cut! No.
Yes, you do.
No.
What do you mean no? What do you mean no?
I don't accept. This is not the Proud Boys beating anybody
I didn't
up.
say this was the Proud Boys. The New Jersey fans also had something called Garden State Ultras. They're also very violent. There were two violent factions of both of our fan groups. I'm not saying either of them were involved. But at the end of the game, people like to fight for some reason.
But these are two different things. Obviously that's crazy, and that should not.
This past weekend, New York fans waited, like they always do, for an hour to jump New Jersey fans. It happens every game. You can't blame the New Jersey fans. They got jumped as they waited the extra hour to leave, and the police again do nothing. Maybe the police is more to blame here, but it happens every game, and it's just everyone needs to stop.
Yeah, that should not be happening. I react sensitively to the Nazi accusations because that's always been completely overblown.
Well, hold on.
But
NYCFC did have a Proud Boy faction. They were kicked out or whatever.
It's not a faction. It was like two people. And
2 people. It was more than 2 people.
I don't believe so.
It was a group.
No, I don't think that's true.
Well,
I think it was literally 2 people. And
let's hope that's true.
Anyway, so but yeah, that's crazy. I had not heard this, and I mean, I wasn't
after every game. I mean, I follow all the Red Bull socials or the fan socials. They have photos. They all share the same stories. Every game, it's the same story. New York fans wait for them because they're supposed to wait for the hour. Everyone leaves.
And then they just attack.
Fighters wait, and then they jump them on the way out.
That's crazy.
I know. Why do the New York fans do that, do you think?
I have no explanation.
It's bad. If you're out there getting drunk, wanting violence, wrong. Don't bring that. You see it in England, it's all bad. Leave it behind. Don't pretend. Don't play make-believe. Don't bring it with you. And the New York, New Jersey thing,
especially if this is not a mutual, because in Europe, this often, there's this mutual understanding where people like meet up for fisticuffs or whatever.
Yeah.
But if that's not what this is, then yeah, it's bad.
Either way, this is all bad. No violence.
Well,
even
anyway,
the whole New
I'm
York,
happy. I'm glad to hear Daniel Young made it home okay.
Yeah, the New York. Well, he was. Of course, he was. He was. The New Jersey fans wouldn't attack him. Only the New York fans are attacking the New Jersey fans. So he was perfectly fine. He's a New York fan. What's he gonna attack? He's gonna unless he gets involved defending the New Jersey fans, he wouldn't get involved in the scuffle. But like the New York versus New Jersey argument is a stupid argument to begin with. The fact that it's even a thing is stupid, and the fact that it creates violence is extra stupid. I mean, New York and New Jersey, it's the same thing. The Sopranos are in New Jersey, and what's his face? Johnny Sack is in Manhattan. It's the same thing. You can't sit there and pretend like it's 2 different universes.
No, but there was violence there too.
No, but what I'm saying, the whole like New Jersey, so go by New Jersey. It's the suburbs. It's cheaper property, bigger homes, lower rents. That's the beginning, and end of the whole New York versus New Jersey thing. So there's no point. It's not even a thing.
All right, well, I guess that's a minority opinion. I mean, that's the whole identity.
So what else is it? What else is it about? What else is the New York versus New Jersey nonsense? Go back to Jersey. New York sucks. New Jersey sucks. Nonsense.
I mean, it's like people. I mean, that's what sports is. It's like tribal affiliations.
You live in Jersey City, you work in Manhattan every day. You live in Brooklyn, you live in Manhattan every day. It's the same life. Those were my friends. When I was living in Brooklyn, my friends were living in Jersey. We met in Manhattan. It's the same life. I don't know what to tell you. New Jersey, it was cleaner, rents were cheaper, houses were bigger. However, they didn't have the trades past midnight. That was sort of that we got trades past midnight. And we have more culture in Brooklyn, of course. Like, I get it, but like, it's such a minor detail.
I've never even contemplated hitting anybody because they're from New Jersey.
No, because you're a regular human being. But at the end of the game, it always happens.
Would never occur to me.
Who are these drunk morons? It's ridiculous. It's not just New York, New Jersey. I hear between Galaxy and LAFC, I see a lot of fighting. And it's like, what are you guys even fighting about? What are you guys even fighting about? You guys both live in LA. You guys are rooting for the same league, the same sport. I don't even know what the fighting's about.
Look at this. Daniel Young is moving to Fort Lee, New Jersey. But he
why? Is it because the rents? Is it because the housing was cheaper and bigger? Yes, that's what the point of New Jersey is.
Okay.
So I don't get the fighting. It's like, go enjoy your your $3,000 a month shoe apartment.
But that fighting is like, you don't have but these kinds of things, you don't have to have a reason. That's the.
Why not? That's even crazier to me. No reason.
I mean, why are Bochum and Schalke fans hitting each other? Like, they literally live like next to each other. I mean, it's it's just tribal.
You know what it is, Bjorn? It is tribal, but there's a concept called the shadow, and that you really hate stuff, and the reason you hate stuff is because it's you, and it's the part of you wish you weren't, but it's you. That's why New Jersey and the New Yorkers fight. That's why Bochum and Schalke fight, because they're the same thing.
We're the same thing. So there you have it. It's we're
spread the love, man. Spread the love. NYCFC, kudos. You guys put a really strong soccer game. It was a complete team. You held the ball well. You moved the ball well. It was some really pretty soccer was played.
You're being very gracious. It was a good game.
And I love my New York Red Bulls. We're having a good season. But I got my eyes on our defense, and I got my eyes on our, I love a real number 9 over the summer. Because Elias Manuel ain't it.
And Dante Van Zier ain't it either.
No, not really either. If anything, it's Corey Burke.
Lewis Morgan looked dangerous, but he was really the only one. Yeah, Corey Burke came in late. Corey Burke runs funny. I made fun of him when he was in Philly, and then he scored against us. So this time I really kept my mouth shut. But yeah, all right.
Whatever works. Okay, and then we have both had midweek wins. Like I said, 9 points. We had 6 points out of 9, so good weeks for both of our clubs. Just with the Derby,
an incredible. I mean, we really catapulted up the standings. Third. That was not even.
Telling you, NYCFC has picked up. They are like.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought the squad. I was always believing in the players and the squad. I think the new acquisitions are good. We have real depth. Thales Magno can't even get on the field.
Right. 30,000 plus were announced.
31,000. Yeah.
Which was hard to see on the TV because it's the baseball stadium. So again, it's not the best environment. But nice
we are, we are building a stadium, so that's going to be.
Oh, here we go. Why is it called the Porch?
Why is what called the Porch?
The Porch. They announced the Porch last week. It was big NYCFC Stadium news.
The supporters' porch.
Yeah, the supporters' porch. There's no porches in New York. There's porches in New Jersey.
Oh, they should call it the supporters' stoop.
But there's no porches in New York.
The supporters' stoop?
Yeah, or something like that. Or what? Why is it called the Porch?
Oh, who gives a shit what these things are called? It's like... Obviously,
I figured you would. This is all over social media. I was just trying to egg you on to get started about the supporters' porch. And you're pretending. Right now, it's like you didn't know they announced it.
We all have our own. I mean, we were talking in the last hour about supporters' culture, and they were bragging in the course of this of announcing this. They were talking about the capo stands and the tifo hanging mechanism and
the flags, right?
And those are all things that I do not care about, especially the capo. When I got invited to a focus group about the stadium, that was like my number one issue. I was like, no capo stands. I'm very happy that we don't have those but I guess this is a baseball issue because of these stadiums. They don't allow.
It's capo time, baby. With your
And
stadium, it's capo time.
So we're gonna have like the same. We're gonna. I mean, that's what I actually enjoy about NYCFC game atmosphere. It's very specific. Sometimes, depending on where you are, sometimes it gets very quiet when nothing's happening, and I think that's
Right.
okay. I think that's okay. I think there is an ebb and flow to the game. Like, you don't have to sing the whole time. Like, if there's nothing going on, like, it's okay if it
Amen,
gets
brother.
quiet, and then when something happens, things get louder. And so anyway, so once
I always remember the USA Holland game in that basement. We're down 3-1. My heart is broken, and the drum is just like, yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
shut the frick
like-
up. We're losing. Our hearts are breaking right
you know.
now because we're being eliminated by Holland. They're playing us like they're bending us over a bed right now and ramming a train in us right now. Okay, pardon the visuals, but it's like, stop playing the drums, bud. Watch the game and let your heart break right now.
I
for
mean,
the next 20 minutes.
it's true. I agree. It's like there's this this idea that the supporters are kind of part of the spectacle, and the players like waving at the it's
Right,
like,
right,
okay,
right, right.
we're all in this. It's like, well, I'm there. I don't know. I'll cheer. I get excited. I cheer when something good happens, but it's not like. Yeah, I don't need to be. I'm paying,
No, I know.
I'm not
with
working.
you on
I'm not
this.
working. I'm not working there.
When I
So,
took my family to the Inter Miami game, they're like, "Why is everyone just jumping and singing the whole?" Like, I want to watch the game because they're not, And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I get
Yeah,
it."
and I think
get
the
it. It's a
flag
thing.
waving especially. It's like, if you're waving that flag, you're not watching. Anyway, so that was the thing that caught my eye in this announcement about the supporters porch. The name I guess I don't really care about. We're not going to say
It
meet
looks
me at
pretty,
the
but
porch. It all looks
New
good.
Yorkers know that nothing's going to be that empty. They're showing all these like lightly attended. Those things
Right,
are going to be
right.
packed. There's going to be
Yeah,
line
it's
out the
going to
door.
be, and there's going to be line. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be.
You're not going to get on the porch.
I don't.
You can't make the porch.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I want to be on the porch, but then there's the capo stands. There's the, we have in our fan base, we have the fan base is divided about the pigeon situation. The what
What do you mean? What pigeon situation? Being called the pigeon?
being called the pigeons. This
Right,
is
I
something.
thought that was a little odd. It makes sense.
This is something that kind of organically emerged from the fan base. I think somebody came up with this, and then people just read, because we were always accused of being the plastic club and being sort of
accurate.
Man City. Well, you're part of a global conglomerate just as much. Anyway, so.
Well, I was thinking about this earlier.
But anyway, no. Let me just tell my
You
pigeon
finish.
story, and then you go. But yeah, anyway, so then this pigeon thing sort of emerged as an authentic thing from and then people pounced on it because it's like, oh, anything that was kind of not designed by a corporate entity was embraced. So then the pigeons, that was our nickname, but not everybody likes it. Some people really like it. I enjoy it. But some people don't, and so now in all these stadium renderings, often like the wall art then involves a lot of pigeons, and then some people are like, "Oh my God, not everything's going to be pigeon themed, right?" In this stadium, but these are all placeholders. This is all years away.
There should be a giant area just covered in pigeon shit. It's called the Pigeon Corner. Put a bunch of bread there. Egg them on. Build stands so that pigeon. There should be a small section in the upper corner of the stands built for pigeons to land to
The
perch
pigeons
on and
perch,
watch the
the
game.
perch,
The pigeons
the
perch.
supporters perch. Yeah,
Supporters perch. It should be supporters perch.
yeah.
You just fixed it. We just fixed it.
Fixed
it
it.
shouldn't be the supporters perch.
But we can call
Porch.
it, but that's the
the
thing. We
perch.
can call it whatever we want. Like, it's not like there's going to be some kind of corporate name. It's going to have a sponsor. It's going to be the Etihad Terrace or whatever. Who gives a shit? Like,
The Etihad terrorist. Yeah, that's what
Terrace, whatever. Yeah,
it's called.
okay.
Terrorist. A terrorist. Huh?
Anyway, it doesn't matter what these things are called. It doesn't matter what food they're going to have.
Will there be
More
WWE
shows are needed.
And will you
at
go to them?
NYCFC Sodium. And this is a take I had not heard,
You know where The Undertaker
Listen,
was a
let's
couple
do
months
it.
ago? The Undertaker was at the Saudi game. He introduced Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, okay.
We need more of that here in MLS.
The Undertaker's still alive?
Yeah, I love him. He's the best. He's
All
always
right.
thriving. Live, he's thriving, man. He's in
He's
interviews
thriving.
now.
All right.
He
very
retired,
good.
but anywho,
But yeah, the stadium news. The stadium news is always welcome. There's a lot of cool looking stuff. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to sit in this new stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, I have
Because
3
you're
years to
probably
figure
not-
this out.
you're probably not going to be in all that noise. You're going to be off.
Oh,
the
I
side
don't
a
want to
little
be.
bit.
I do not
Right.
want to be in the supporter section. I like to have and my seats. The seats
or the
that-
perch.
The seats I have in Yankee Stadium, I love. I've said this before, and they're not going to be. They're not going to exist in the same way. So I'm going to be either on the side of the supporters, or perhaps even on more closer to the midline. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, we got 3
Or
years.
maybe
at
right
least.
next to the away supporters. How about that? That'd be fun.
No.
Just
I am not.
seat
I'm not
away.
one of those people. There are definitely in Philly. You see those people who specifically select their seats for proximity to the away section that they can abuse. They also do not watch the game. They're just abusing the traveling fans of New York. Yeah, I mean, listen. It's a big world out there. Everybody gets to do
The
whatever
Philly
they
fans
want, unless
have hurt you.
unless
the
they're
Philly
smart.
fans have
They
hurt
were
you,
very.
bro.
They were very. They were
Philly
very
fans
mean to
have
us.
hurt
They
you.
were mean to us.
I hear about that all the time. Here's what I brought up, because we had 2 rivalry games this week as well. We destroyed DC United 4-1. It was men versus boys against our boy Troy.
Benteke scores a hat trick every time, except
not-
when he's playing you.
Not Wednesday. He was pretty neutralized on Wednesday. And I asked the question, I'm like, I don't know, is this wacky me? Are DC United still our big rivals? I mean, we haven't had a meaningful game in 5 years.
Blasphemy.
We haven't had a meaningful game in 5 years. I mean, how long do rivalries live? They live forever? What if we don't have another meaningful game for another 100 years? You know what I mean? It just needs to be reignited. We need to meet them in the playoffs. It needs to be reignited. Because right now, we just play, and it's like, okay, and the games aren't super amazing. And then they're either one-sided or boring. So I don't...
All right.
I remember the old day. I remember DC United us in the playoffs and in the snow game and Nick De Leon just breaking my heart scoring the win. I remember all that, but that's 12 years ago now. And in the last few years, I'm just like, has anything happened between the two of us? You know, and our big rivalry is NYCFC these days. That's our big rival, just because they're neighbors. And also, NYCFC and Rebels never really had much of a... We've never had the ultimate playoff showdown Eastern Conference final, you know, where one of us beat the other and there was a
That's
ref
true.
call.
Yeah.
And there was like a ref call that was like in debate, you know what I mean? That moment also hasn't happened between us yet. Let's hope it happens this year, right?
I mean, it's a much more. Yeah, I think. Well, we were talking about. My friends and I were talking about this on Saturday. There was the early games, the first couple. We had a lot of people in Yankee Stadium. They were like 35, 40. Like those were big games. Yeah. Those early games, and then then there was. It fizzled out a little bit. We weren't necessarily competitive. Then there was COVID, when all of a sudden these games were happening a lot. Like we were playing 4 times a year because of the sort of localized schedule, and then that kind of lost its luster a little bit. But now, yeah, this was a big deal. Like our team made it important. Like this was, because it's like, the team is growing. We had a pretty good homestand. That was step 1. Then we won a couple games on the road. We won 1 game on the road last season total. So
yeah,
to have to win 2 in a row it's a big step. It's a big step for this group. And then the next thing is the Derby, which also actually Nick Cushing has a pretty good record because he won both Derbies in his first season, but last season we lost and we tied, I guess. So this was the next, for this particular group, this was the next step was this Derby, and they made it important and they delivered. So kudos.
Yeah, let's hope it picks up steam for both our teams, so we have comfortable positions in the playoff. Because the 2 big teams in the East is Columbus and Miami, right? Those are the big dogs.
Cincinnati, you mean? Or Columbus.
I guess Cincinnati over Columbus.
Cincinnati has they have a big lead right now. They were ahead of, like, if not for the late Miami winner, they would have been in first place. Cincinnati.
Yeah, but I think we beat Cincinnati, right? Or am I wrong? Maybe we tied them in Cincy. I mean, you're right. Cincy's got a game in hand. They're on top, so I guess Cincy. But I think Columbus, with what they got going on with Nancy and the defending champions, and maybe even CONCACAF winners when that's done with, and they can only focus on the league.
Well,
they're going to come in.
It always takes a toll somehow on the regular season. The CONCACAF. If you make a deep CONCACAF run, that usually, I mean, Seattle didn't even make the playoffs, right? When they won. If Columbus is looking pretty good, but
if Cincy wants to win the Supporters Shield, be my guest. They can win the Supporters Shield and flame out in the first round of the playoffs. Take it, guys. Go do it. We've done that already. We've done it 3 times.
A lot
this is your year.
I mean, we still got a few shuffles ahead in those standings because we're still. Although we are kind of winding down the first half of the season. We have 14 games now, so like.
And then we have the summer. We have the the Leagues Cup break.
Yeah, everybody's favorite tournament.
Yeah. Okay.
We've got the Open Cup again tomorrow night. I think. Maybe I'll make it out.
I've been looking you up, by the way. NYCFC too. Jonathan Jimenez scored the only goal, the 1-0 victory, the last thing.
No, he's been very, very good. We don't have an argument. You think it's straight to MLS? I don't think so. I think he's going to get a USL.
He's doing great.
Yeah,
he's doing great. NYCFC 2 is. Who do you guys got next? Who's next?
New Mexico, I believe. New Mexico.
Okay. Bob Odenkirk's team.
We're gonna, it's tomorrow night on the top of Belson. I don't know. Maybe I'll make it out there.
They're all home games, I guess. All these USL teams have traveled to New York.
We've got some. Some good.
Where are they staying? Are they at JFK Inn? Where are these USL teams?
New Mexico?
Staying? Yeah, where are these USL teams with their budget?
What a good question. I don't know.
Where are they staying when they go to? Where? I'm curious what the accommodations are like.
I will try and find out. How about that?
Because New York ain't cheap. Hotels are very expensive. I mean,
maybe
they're getting a couple Airbnbs. I don't know what they're doing.
They're far out.
Maybe they're on Long Island.
So there's got to be. I mean, you might be right. They might be staying by the airport. That probably would make sense, actually.
JFK Inn is historically, I think it's famously the worst hotel in at least.
Well, but there's other options. There's the TWA hotel. There's some nice places. It's not like they're gonna.
But Mexican United to the TWA hotel. That's expensive.
But I mean, well, yeah, I don't know. I'll find out. I'll try and find out.
It's okay. They'll make it back in the gate receipts on top of Bellson Stadium.
It's $5. I just looked it up. If as a season ticket holder, it's $5 for me to go to that game tomorrow. So
maybe they get a cut of the hot dog stand.
So it's not. I'm certainly not paying for the TWA hotel for New Mexico.
No,
I mean that's the problem, right? For this whole, people are like, the U.S. Open Cup should be a bigger deal, but it's like I think this is the reality of it. It's like New Mexico flying the New Mexico team to New York and putting them up is gonna cost multiples of what this game brings in. For sure, and it's not close either.
Because it's also a free stream on YouTube. Right?
Whether it's gate receipts or broadcast, there's nothing coming in. So yeah, it's not the money trade that people like seem to make it.
Wrexham this ain't. No. But we had a huge so MLS. Speaking of making money, MLS leans on players. One player specifically, Lionel Messi, and when he's injured, they have to do their best to scramble and find some other schmo to advertise. They don't even know the names of the other schmoes, but they're in luck. This Wednesday, a new hero emerged. Hakeem.
Oh, forgot the raccoon. Yes. They're like,
thank God we've got a star today. Messi's injured. Raccoon, everybody.
There's so much. There's so many reasons to be excited about my team. I forgot about the raccoon. The raccoon was great.
The Topps trading card made a Raquinho card,
Oh,
which you
amazing.
can buy for $9. It was on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. It went viral. It made the round. It was a blessing. That little guy was adorable. He was a blessing.
I mean,
guys.
also some credit goes to Kalen Carr and who was the other guy? Callum
Williams.
Callum Williams,
Their
who did
call
a
for their
really
call, yeah.
did a very did a good job
Commendable.
narrating the whole thing. It's very entertaining. It only
Especially when the
lasted
guy-
for two. It only lasted for 2 minutes. I found out afterwards.
Yeah, it was the trash can thing. It was quite a 2 minutes.
It was,
And it's
but it
just
was
like-
pretty. Yeah, it felt longer, but it was actually. I guess it was just 2 minutes, and then people were posting heat maps for the raccoon on Twitter, saying how he's not a like for like sub for O'Toole. He's more defensive minded, and there was a
when
lot of fun
animals-
to be had.
When animals are people, it's the best. I mean, there's one of my favorite things go on YouTube. There's this great video of a cat invading an NFL stadium, and cats are amazing. Like they're much faster, and the lateral movement's much better than humans. So cats running around, everyone's yelling MVP, MVP, and then the play-by-play guy Joe Buck or whoever it is like, check the lateral movement of that cat. Ugh, he's at the 40, he's at the 30, he's at the 20. And it's like true.
Yeah,
And
and this
animals
was the
are
same.
amazing.
This was the same with the raccoon. Now, then there was some rumor. The Twitter aftermath was very entertaining too, because
What's the rumor?
Kalen Carr's mom insisted that Kalen Carr make sure the raccoon was okay. She wanted to know what happened to the raccoon afterwards. And then there was some perhaps realist types on Twitter were like, yeah, that raccoon got sent to the big stadium in the sky, guaranteed. It was tested for rabies, but that was not true. That was then
Yeah.
later
He just walked
debunked.
off the woods or something.
Raquinho was not put down. Raquinho was released in the wild. So
Yeah.
hopefully he's out there and has a story to tell to his fellow raccoons.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing about this, when cats do it, when dogs do it, I mean, dogs are more into it because they're just like, everybody's my friend. But cats and raccoons and squirrels, they're just like, what the hell is this? They're like, I've lived a whole life.
Right.
I know people. They live in homes. Why is there 30,000 people in big lights looking at me right now?
Looking at a lawn. Yeah, what is
What
going
is
on?
this?
There's nothing
What
to
the hell
eat. There's
is-
nothing to eat as far as I
there's
can
no
tell.
food here. Yeah, like what is this? They're like, you humans make no sense to me.
So weird. Yeah.
Well, okay, and then the other big, I guess we have a bunch of stuff, but Copa America dropped today. I just looked at the
The
thing today.
roster.
Timothy Tillman is joining. Malik Tillman, the Tillman brothers.
He will not, but he's gonna.
He's
gonna
up for
be
the
one-
cut?
He's gonna be the one to be cut. Yeah.
One player is going to be cut by there's a 27-man roster, and a 26-man roster is the rules for the Copa. So one unlucky man, one unlucky guy, one is going home.
Yeah,
and I think I agree with you. I think it's
Everybody
up
thinks
for
it's gonna be
Timmy.
Tillman.
think
Of
it's
course,
up for
then there's
Timmy. Sean
the
Johnson is
MLS
included.
the MLS conspirators who was like, what is with all the, and there's four MLS players on the roster.
Are there any MLS players?
One of
Sean
them is
and
gonna,
Timothy.
One of them is gonna get cut. Tillman. Sean Johnson is the third goalkeeper. He's not going to see any time. He's only there for good cheer.
He's there for a locker room.
And Miles Robinson's the only one who, and Shaq Moore is
Shaq
only there
Moore.
because Serginho Dest is hurt, and the right back position is under construction. So
What happened to Reggie Cannon? He was one of our best back in the day.
he was not. He was never one of our best. It's always this is
On
the
the
thing
right
we,
back, yeah.
No,
No.
he was
I know what you're
never-
about to say.
he
I
was
know what you're
never
about to
that
say.
good.
I know what you're about to say. There was a time when our right back was DeAndre Edlin and Reggie Cannon.
Yeah.
DeAndre Edlin was
Well-
more veteran. Reggie Cannon was younger and fresher.
But he
And then
was
when they
never-
played, Reggie showed up. It was like, oh, Reggie. Then Shaq Moore came in. He was okay. Then Serginho
For the
Dest came
Gold
in
Cup,
and-
yeah, he played for the
Bob's
B
your
squad. Shaq Moore. Reggie
He did
Cannon
very
was
well.
never.
He did very well.
Yeah. Reggie Cannon was never. It's with the U.S. men's national team. It's always the guy who's not playing is always the
I know, but you're being unfair. Reggie Cannon was our best right back for a year.
Okay,
Solid
what
year.
happened though? Where's he now?
Before Serginho Dest was naturalized, before we knew who Joe Scally was. It was DeAndre Yedlin, Reggie Cannon, and Shaq Moore. And Shaq Moore was sort of on the outs a little bit. Reggie Cannon was in Portugal. He was the hot new thing. It was Reggie Cannon. And he was playing, and he was good. I saw him. He was good. I was more of a DeAndre Yedlin guy because he was a veteran, but Reggie Cannon was a little faster, a little sharper. And it's just sad because Reggie Cannon, where is he at now? He's lost. He's at QPR. He's been injured maybe. I guess he's playing at QPR, but he's sort of off in the wilderness. Is QPR championship? Yeah, the championship. 18th. But anyway, Reggie Cannon, come back, Young. Come back. But Sergio Dest is missing. The big absence, though, the big frightening, the real frightening one is Tyler Adams. He was absent the Bournemouth game over the weekend. Does he need to take the summer off to get healthy? I mean, without him, we are it's going to be tough.
Yeah,
even with Johnny Cardozo doing as well as he does.
I don't think he'll be ready.
I don't think so either.
You want to talk about the Jesse Marsh thing?
Yeah. Yeah, he went to Canada.
Well, he went to Canada. The thing
he
that
criticized the U.S. soccer hiring process on his way out. He said he was trapped in a room for 36 hours and had to do all these tests. He did 12 personality tests and would have tests, all this nonsense. The stuff you never see, like, he interviewed for jobs at Southampton, Leeds, Red Bull. He's been around. The way it works is you sit down with the management, you offer a plan, and that's that. He never had to sit in a hotel room for 36 hours and do a bunch of computer tests.
Yeah, I mean, U.S. soccer is weird that way. That's well established. What I heard,
and the rumor is that he was offered the job.
That he had the job, and then the player said no.
The players said, we want Greg, so they took it away from Jesse.
Yeah.
And then gave it to Greg. Yeah, which is something to talk about, right? I don't know. I have mixed feelings.
I mean, if that's the case, then
it's weird.
I mean, and it's
the Jesse Marsh should be mad at the players.
Well, he should be mad, but he shouldn't be pouting about the tests and the interview. He should be like,
yes,
I guess
he should be keeping that to himself.
He should be keeping that to himself, and his beef is not with that. His beef is with you told me I had the job, and then you took it away, and obviously that's a reason to be mad. But these are players. I mean, I think there were concerns. People said it was pro Greg, but it was also anti Jesse, from what I heard.
Yeah, but should the players be that in charge? Is that healthy for this group of this little player mafia to say? Because the other side of that is maybe like Greg, because he's easy on them and he's like he says what they want to hear, and you know what I mean. Should the players be the one calling the shots? I don't know. I think that's the other side of that coin.
Well, but on the other hand, I mean, you're going to ask them, right? And if some of them have experience with Jesse and they say, "Yeah, I'd rather not," that's got to play a role.
Do you think Tyler Adams said that?
He has that. Well, we don't know exactly how these conversations went, but it's like
Tyler played him in every club, I think.
But he had he had a reputation for being pretty rigid and have this like only one setting of like go hard all the time,
right.
and I think there's some reason to be concerned. And then for him, but then the Berhalter hater has entered the chat.
Hello, Soccer USA.
There's always welcome.
Would you, Soccer USA, if you're still here, would you have been? Would you
have preferred?
Would you have been happier
Marsh?
with Jesse over Greg? And if so, just let us know. The other part of this is Jesse talked about being hired by Canada, and the guy who runs the Canadian Federation, and the CSA is a disaster. But they have no money. We'll talk about that in a second. But the guy who runs it is this college sports guy or something, some college sports manager. And Jesse Marsh said this is the best sports executive he has ever worked with and for. He's so excited about it. And he's like, they recruited me. Pretty much, he's just like, they wanted me, and he's the best.
But they needed the Canadian MLS teams to kick in some money. He's got these sponsors,
including
right?
Joey Saputo, including the guy who fired him, Joey Saputo. But the reason I bring that up is because it also didn't sit well with me. It's a very ego-driven statement to be like, this manager is the best I've ever worked with because he wanted me. You know what I mean?
Because he likes me.
Because he likes me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he was coaching the Red Bulls a long time. Like Patrick Vieira never had any time for Jesse Marsh, and
this is 2013. It goes back to my point. 2013, there was a big article about there was a clear division in the locker room between guys and Klinsmann and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't
And
think-
there have been many player coups against Klinsmann.
You would have wanted to keep Klinsmann. I don't know.
Well, what I'm saying is the players-
I'm not a Klinsmann fan myself.
But it's not about Klinsmann. It's about the players. It's about
No, but so I'm responding to Soccer USA. Soccer USA thinks the Klinsmann, we would have been better off keeping Klinsmann instead of.
players.
Anyway.
Prob felt going down the same road. Jesse's stuck in a systematic way, much like GP. Players prob felt going down the same road. So you're saying that to them it was 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
obviously we're
fair, I guess.
speculating about these
Yeah, we're
conversations,
speculating.
but that's a big. And it's not. Yeah, if I don't know, it was a little bit of a head scratcher to me. Like if he had the job and the players vetoed him, that's not something he should be. I don't know. Should be.
He didn't
probably-
say that out loud though. That
I mean-
rumor came from Chicago news sources.
But that's what I'm saying. Then to be like, oh, I guess he's now he's coaching the rival, so he's trying to.
it is a little weird.
Psych himself up, but yeah, I don't
You
know.
know who wins, Bjorn? You know who wins?
Who does win?
We win because
We
now
win
Jesse
because
versus Greg, Canada versus USA. Let's go. Let's see.
Maybe,
Jesse's got a point to
maybe-
prove. Greg's got a point to prove.
Maybe Claudio Reyna is going to coach Mexico, and then it's all gonna it's then we really got something.
That's the other news about Gio Reyna. A big reason of his move to Nottingham Forest was his father advised him to do so. His father said, "Don't go to Spain and Mallorca, or Sevilla, which I thought he would have crushed at. Go to England, son." He's like, "Yes, father."
He should probably consult other people as well. His parents have had their shot. He's an adult now.
It's Jersey strong. Dirty Jers. All right, that's been the USA Hour.
It's been a delight.
Yeah,
You've been a very gracious loser today. I really have to compliment you.
As the
you've
Bundesliga-
been-
As the Bundesliga winds down, the good thing about being a fan of the American game is as Europe winds down, America heats up. Yeah.
I wonder how much Berhalter paid Nottingham not to play Reyna. Oh,
yeah.
we've got a full.
Sneakers. He paid him an in-kind donation.
right.
He's like, I've got over $100,000 worth of Nike in my closet. This could
good
all be
stuff.
yours, Nuno Gomes, if you just keep Gio on the bench.
Nuno was not impressed by the CONCACAF Player of the Tournament award.
He was playing the long game. Berhalter's playing the long game, pretending to be his friend, but giving him terrible advice. He's like, this will teach your mother to call to say those things she said about me. How dare she bring up my domestic violence history?
All right. Well,
Anywho,
we'll see you next week.
tschüss, bis nächste Woche. Bye-bye.